Richard Koch's book, The 80-20 Principle, The Secret of Achieving More with Less, is based on Pareto's Law, which states that 20% of efforts lead to 80% of results. This principle is universal and applies to both professional and personal life. Below is a comprehensive summary of the book based on the sources. The core concept, Pareto's Law. The world is inherently unbalanced. Historically, Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto discovered that 20% of the population owned 80% of the wealth. In modern life, this means that 20% of your friends provide 80% of your value, and 20% of a company's clients typically bring in 80% of the profit. Koch suggests that by identifying and focusing on this vital 20%, you can achieve significantly more while working less. 10 key insights from the book. 1. Success should be easy. If something requires extreme effort and brings no joy or money, it is likely not part of your productive 20%. 2. Be a narrow specialist. Excellence comes from focusing on a specific niche. 3. Cultivate optimism. Identify when you are happiest and try to replicate those moments. 4. Avoid external obligations. 80% of your time is often wasted on tasks imposed by others. 5. Reject mediocrity. Never settle for average performance or results. 6. Simplify your business. Complexity creates waste. Simplify everything as much as possible. 7. Timing in negotiations. Save important decisions for the end of a meeting. 8. Know your best clients. Focus all your attention on the top 20% of your customers. 9. Invest for the long term. If your stocks are not losing money, hold them for years. 10. Build strategic alliances. Create partnerships with mentors, peers, and those you can teach. 80/20ths in personal life. Time management. We often spend time on things that don't matter. Koch recommends identifying islands of happiness and islands of achievement, those rare times when you are most productive and joyful, and expanding them to cover 100% of your life. Relationships. Not all connections are equal. Focus on the 20% of relationships that provide the most support, joy, and mutual growth. Successful relationships are built on trust, respect, and shared experience. Happiness. Happiness is a mental habit and a choice. To be happier, identify the 20% of activities that cause 80% of your joy and eliminate the activities that make you miserable. 80/20ths in career and business. Specialization. Do what you enjoy and what comes easily to you. If you focus on your natural talents, your success will be high quality and valued by others. Profitability. In business, 1/5 of products usually account for the vast majority of profits. Companies should simplify their structure and focus on these high-margin items rather than trying to sell everything to everyone. Decision-making. Most important decisions are made at the beginning of a project, but they require the most analysis. Koch suggests spending 80% of your analytical time on the first 20% of the project to avoid reaching a point of no return with a bad strategy. Investment strategy. Koch advises against high-frequency trading. Instead, invest when the market is low and prices are cheap. Be a specialist in a specific sector. Immediately cut losses if a stock drops by 15%. Hold on to winning investments for the long term, as 20% of a portfolio often generates 80% of the total wealth. Main conclusion. The secret to effectiveness is not to work harder, but to think strategically to find the 20% that truly matters and let go of the 80% that doesn't.